Hello and welcome to new broadcasts on TayNinhTV with some latest event in TayNinh province as well as in nationwide. And now we come into detail. On the morning of August 11, the working delegation of the Ministry of Construction, led by Mr. Nguyễn Xuân Sang, Deputy Minister of Construction, and Mr. Nguyễn Hồng Thanh, member of the Standing Committee of the Provincial Party Committee, Vice Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee, conducted a field survey to propose the investment process for the constructions of a logistics center, an ICT inland park, and TayNinh General Park.
The survey aims to assess the current situation and the potential for the development of inland waterway port infrastructure in the locality. The working delegation traveled directly by rivers to survey the Saigon River from Bến Dược, Củ Chi area to Bình Tây Bridge. At the same time, the delegation also worked at Mộc International Boulevard. The project of the logistics center and an ICT inland port and TayNinh General inland port with a total project scale of more than 259 hectares, the total investment capital of nearly 3,627 billion Vietnam dong. Labor scale population forecast by 2035 is about 1,500 people. Initially, the project was called for investment in the form of socialization and investor capital. Currently, the project is being proposed to switch to the form of public investment, striving to put into operation in 2027, attracting the development of national parks in the province and reducing the pressure on road transport. At the end of the working session, the Deputy Minister Nguyễn Xuân Sang directed to finalize the proposed plan and soon submit to competent authorities for consideration and approval.
On August 11, the Provincial Public Security Party Committee held its first Congress of Delegates for 2025-2030 term. Attending the Congress, there were Senior Lieutenant General Trần Quốc Tỏ, member of the Party Central Committee, Deputy Secretary of the Central Public Security Party Committee, Deputy Minister of Public Security, Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee Nguyễn Văn Úc. Implementing the resolution of the Provincial Police Party Congress for the 2020-2025 term, the Party Committee, the Board of Directors of TayNinh Provincial Police, and on-carriers and party members have maintained political courage, innovative thinking, tightened discipline, promoted solidarity, strive to overcome all difficulties and challenges. To accumulate and execute most of the goals, targets, requirements, and methods of the resolution of the Provincial Police Party Congress for the 2020-2025 term, the political security situation was maintained, social order and safety were stable, effectively serving the socio-economic development of the province. At the Congress, delegates contributed many opinions to the draft documents submitted to the Congress and draft reports to the higher level Congresses. At the same time, the Presidium announced the decision of the Provincial Party Standing Committee on the appointment of the Party Executive Committee, the Standing Committee, the Secretary, the Deputy Secretary, the Inspection Committee, the Chairman and the Deputy Chairman of the Inspection Committee of the Provincial Police Party Committee, member of the Provincial Party Standing Committee, Director of the Provincial Police, Major General Vũ Như Hà, was appointed to hold the position of Secretary of the Provincial Police Party Committee. At the Congress, Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee Nguyễn Văn Úc, raised the quite comprehensive results in all aspects of the work of the Provincial Police Party Committee during the term. At the same time, he requested that the Provincial Police Party Committee continue to firmly adhere to the goal of firming protecting national security, ensuring social order and safety, and maintaining a stable environment for the province's socio-economic development. Speaking at the Congress, Senior Lieutenant General Trần Quốc Tỏ, member of the Party Central Committee, Deputy Secretary of the Central Public Security Party Committee, Deputy Minister of Public Security, requested the Provincial Public Security Party Committee to continue to improve the quality and effectiveness of all aspects of work, react positive changes in social order and safety, avoid being passive and surprised in all situations, contributing to the successful implementation of the socio-economic development task of the province. At the same time, he requested the Provincial Public Security Party Committee to continue to attach importance to and do better in the work of party building and building the People's Public Security Force. In addition, Senior Lieutenant General Trần Quốc Tỏ requested that the new party committee members pay attention to inheritance and rise their sense of responsibility, maintain solidarity, unity, and be celebrated on a scheduled, direct, and organize the successful implementation of the resolutions set forth by Congress with the slogan of action, solidarity, democracy, discipline, breakthrough, development. In 2025-2030 term, the Provincial Police Party Committee continues to determine to continue to improve the leadership capacity and fighting strength of the party committee, determined to build a truly clean, strong, disciplined, elite, modern provincial police force, meeting the requirements and tasks in the new situation.
On the afternoon of August 11, at the Provincial Economic Zone Management Board, the TayNinhTV Provincial People Committee handed over a decision approving the investment policy and at the same time approving the investor, investment registration certificates, and construction license for the Bình Hòa Nam 1 Industry Park, infrastructure investment, and business project to Hoàng Cầu Long An Company Limited. Attending and hand over the decision were Vice Chairman of the Provincial People Committee, Huỳnh Văn Sơn.
Bình Hòa Nam No. 1 Industrial Park project is invested by Hoàng Cầu Long An Company Limited with a scale of more than 322 hectares and a total investment capital of 3,900 billion Vietnam dong, and it is the first project chaired by the Economic Zone Management Board in the nation, with the relevant departments and branches to appraise and submit to the Provincial People's Committee for consideration and decision according to the new process, ensuring the strictness, compliance with regulations and progress, and thereby helping investors to soon deploy the projects in the field. At the investment certificate awarding ceremony, I also committed to provincial leaders as well as the leaders of the Economic Management Board, Hoàng Gia Vietnam Group commits to invest in accordance with the progress of the project committed to the local government leaders and will soon complete the infrastructure of this project, and thereby attracting secondary investors to invest in production and business in our industrial park. Speaking at the decision awarding ceremony, the Vice Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee, Huỳnh Văn Sơn, emphasized that the project not only expands the development space to the south, but also creates conditions to attract investment, promotes economic restructuring towards industrialization, modernization, and at the same time, spread the driving force for the trade services and transportation, labor training, contributing to sustainable socio-economic developments, and thereby the province always commits to always accompany and provide maximum support for the project to be implemented smoothly and effectively. At the same time, the Vice Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee requested investors to focus resources on implementing the project on schedule, complying with the law, focusing on environmental protection, and soon turning the project into a bright spot in infrastructure and attract investment in the area also.
The Orient, as the invitation of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the delegation of TayNinhTV Province, led by the Standing Committee member of the Provincial Party Committee, Vice Chairman of the TayNinhTV Provincial People Committee, Nguyễn Minh Lâm, visited and worked with Australia from August 10, 2025 to August 16, 2025.
On the first working day, the delegation visited and learned from Lotus Farm with a high-tech cucumber rowing motor and a fully automatic system using software. During the visit, Mr. Nguyễn Minh Lâm highly appreciated the high-tech agricultural motor here. He also said that TayNinhTV has great potential in terms of land and climate to develop high-tech agriculture. After the working trip, the province will research, select, and pilot suitable models for replication, especially in the production of key local crops. On the same day, the delegation had a working session with the Vietnam Business Association in Australia. Here, the delegation introduced the province's key agricultural products and investment potential. The meeting opened up many opportunities for TayNinhTV to establish sustainable cooperative relationships, seek strategic partners, and bring the province's high-quality agricultural products to penetrate the Australian market, one of the world's leading potential markets.
Ladies and gentlemen, although the implementation and disbursement of public investment capital are currently focused, they have not yet met the requirements and plans set forth by the province. The Provincial People Committee directs and requires the department, branches, and sector to closely coordinate with investors, localities, and construction contractors to resolutely organize measures to ensure that by the end of the third quarter, the disbursement rate must reach 75% or more, and by the end of the year, it will reach 100%.
The Provincial People's Committee directs and requires departments, branches, and sectors to closely connect with investors, localities, and construction contractors to resolutely organize measures to ensure that by the end of the third quarter, the disbursement rate will reach for 75% or more, and by the end of the year, it will reach for 100%. In order to strive for double-digit economic growth in 2025, the Provincial People's Committee has synchronously and resolutely implemented solutions and measures to promote. In particular, the province also identified the effective implementation of investment work as well as public investment disbursement has been of the certain importance. The Lương Hòa Secondary and High School Project Phase Number 2, Lương Hòa Commune has a total investment capital of nearly 25 billion Vietnam dong, and the implementation period is in the period of 2024 to 2026 from the provincial budget. Although the contract period is still relatively long, the investor and the construction unit are dedicating on their efforts to complete the project early in terms of progress as well as dispersing capital, ensuring the project is put into use, serving the teaching and learning in the year of 2025 to 2026. In terms of progress, the project has reached about 80%, and the investor has fully allocated the capital for the project also. And to speed up the progress, the company has arranged personnel and workers of about 50 people working even on Saturdays and Sundays. At the construction project of the embankment along the Vam Go Tay River of Long Mang Road, the investor and contractor are currently organizing the construction vigorously, determined to complete the project in terms of the progress as well as dispersing 100% of the capital in 2025. The project has a total investment of nearly 400 billion Vietnam dong from the central budget and the provincial budgets also. Currently, the contractor is focusing on human resources to complete the items below the underground level, striving to complete the construction of the items above before the 10th of lunar month, and the investor creates favorable conditions for timely disbursement, up to now reaching about 75%. And the embankment here is constructed dependent on the tide, and the contractor is also trying to overcome the situation and follow the tide to meet the set schedule. And when completed, the project will contribute to preventing riverbank erosion, protecting architectural, cultural works and infrastructure built along the river, ensuring the safety of the life and property and stabilizing the lives of the people living along the Vam Go Tay River, and preventing annual riverbank erosions when floods come. At the same time, upgrading infrastructure, improving the environment, and clearing the area along the embankment, urban beautification, and creating local tourism landscape, and contributing to promoting the socio-economic development also. According to information from the People's Committee of the Province in 2025, the locality has allocated nearly 16,000 billion Vietnam dong to implement public investment projects and works in the area. As of the end of July, the volume of implementation and disbursement was about 8,000 billion Vietnam dong and reaching nearly 50% of the plan. The province has directed the relevant units and investors to focus more on the implementation and disbursement of public investment capital, ensuring that by the end of the third quarter, over 75% of the plan is disbursed and 100% of the investment capital plan will disbursed by the end of the fiscal year. And by early August of 2025, the entire TayNinhTV province had planted about 35,000 hectares of autumn-winter rice crop, and the Department of Agriculture and Environment requested that localities in the province actively inspect fields, detect and prevent pests and diseases in a timely manner, ensuring the good rice growth and development, high productivity and quality also. According to the forecast of the Southern Institute of Water Resources Planning, the flood in 2025 is assessed to be small. The water level at the beginning of the crop is low and varies with the tide. The water level only starts to increase from the end of July, and the main flood peak falls in the first half of October. And on that basis, the Department of Agriculture and Environment requested locality to adjust production plans in accordance with the actual conditions, especially sowing autumn-winter rice only in the area with the safe diets. And the recommended sowing schedule is divided into 2 periods, from August 15 to 25th, and from September 13 to the 25th of 2025. And the Department of Agriculture and Environment also notes some pests and diseases that are at risk of arising in the near crop, such as brown plant hoppers, small leaf rollers, dry blast disease, and brown spot disease. And therefore, it is recommended that communes and wards regularly update the pest and disease situation as announced by the TayNinhTV Department of Conservation and Plant Protection.
TayNinhTV Province Service Committee had just issued a document requesting units and localities to focus on implementing solutions to improve the online application submission rate and at the same time rectify the situation of refusing to accept applications from people and businesses. According to statistics, up to August 8, 2025, TayNinhTV ranked 31 out of 34 provinces and cities nationwide in terms of the index of serving people and businesses on the National Public Service Portal, in which the online application submission rate is in the lowest group. The Provincial Service Committee requests units to regularly monitor the index, promptly implement improvement solutions, not refuse to accept applications, especially in non-administrative procedures in the land sector. Localities need to coordinate with the Department of Home Affairs, Department of Science and Technology, Digital Transformation Center to synchronize data, accurately determine the number of overdue applications according to the authority. As a basis for reporting administrative reform, at the same time coordinate with the Land Registration Office to send staff to directly support at the Public Administration Service Center, guiding people to carry out online procedures.
Ladies and gentlemen, currently Trảng Bàng Ward, TayNinhTV Province is one of the few units in the old TayNinhTV Province that has a large-scale, effectively operating traditional house. For more than 10 years, this place has become a rest address for the people.
This is the Trảng Bàng Traditional House Project with a construction area of 300 square meters and put into operation since the beginning of 2014 on the land of Long An Quarter, Old Trảng Bàng Town, now Trảng Bàng Ward of TayNinhTV Province. Currently in front of the traditional house, there are 2 tanks of the U.S. Puppet Army that was used in the operations to attract revolutionary bases on the battlefield in the south of Vietnam before April 30th of 1975, including the major U.S. puppet campaigns in TayNinhTV land. When Trảng Bàng decided to build a traditional house to preserve the historical values, the end goals, and the district party committee and the committee proposed to ask for the task to bring back here as a trophy. And here we periodically maintain these artifacts, like recently, during the renovation and repainting of the traditional house wall, we painted the tank also. Mr. Võ Minh Chiến, 71 years old, a person who participated in the resistance war against the U.S. in his homeland of Trảng Bàng and contributing to the liberation of his homeland. On holidays and the 30th, he always took time to visit Trảng Bàng Traditional House to remember a time of arduous but heroic struggle. The traditional house as it is today has many stages that we should preserve now so that the next generation can think of the previous generation who lived in here for the revolutionary cause and the national cause, so that the next generation can remember the treasures and memories of Trảng Bàng history. Inside the traditional house, there are many images, artifacts, and historical documents of the formation and development of Trảng Bàng district through the periods. Every year, about 5,000 visitors come here to visit, and every year the Department of Culture and Information has a plan to coordinate with the school, including history lessons, often bringing about 40 to 50 middle school and high school students. In fact, Trảng Bàng Traditional House, TayNinhTV Province is not only a place to display and preserve historical artifacts and documents, but also a red address to educate revolutionary traditions for the today and tomorrow's young generations. And since the beginning of the year, the work of receiving and resolving unemployment insurance benefits in tenant province has been implemented promptly and in accordance with the regulations, contributing to supporting the workers to stabilize their lives and return to labor market soon. As of the end of July, the entire tenant province has received nearly 25,000 applications for unemployment insurance benefits, of which nearly 21,300 people have received benefits with a total payment of more than 516 billion Vietnam dong, and the payments have been met on time, creating favorable conditions for the workers to cover living expenses while they have not found a new job. In addition, the Regional Employment Service Centers have provided the job consultation and reference to nearly 115,000 people, provided recruitment information from the businesses as well as supported job research skills, career guidance, vocational training, etc. And ladies and gentlemen, the rate of public investment disbursement nationwide in the first 7 months of 2025 reached 43.8% of the plan, and nearly 10% higher than the same period in 2024. The rate of local budget disbursement alone reached 57.5%. Public investment in the first 7 months increased quite strongly compared to the same period last year. According to the Ministry of Finance, by the end of July of 31st, the disbursement of public investment capital was estimated at more than 388,300 billion Vietnam dong, equivalent to 43.9% of the plan. This disbursement rate is nearly 10% higher than the same period in 2024. And in July of 2025, the disbursement volume reached for nearly 70,000 billion Vietnam dong, increase of 7.9% compared to June. And July is also the official time to operate the two-level local government model after the arrangement of provincial-level administrative units, and Minister of Finance Nguyễn Văn Thắng emphasized that these positive results clearly reflects the efforts of localities in implementing the public investment tasks.
The old Gò Dầu district's funeral home, now located in Thanh Bình Quarter, Gò Dầu West, is currently quite deserted. The project has been completed but has not been put into use for a long time.
The funeral home project is one of the items in the plan to develop Gò Dầu district with the old district into a Tier Level 4 urban area. According to the Gò Dầu District Construction Investment Project Management Board, now the Region 4 Construction Investment Management Board, this funeral house project started on April 19 of 2023 and was accepted for completion on December 19 of 2023. At that time, the project has not been handed over for years because the Gò Dầu District Department of Internal Affairs were waiting for the Department of Internal Affairs' opinion on the project to organize and manage the funeral house activities. And on June 12 of 2025, the Project Management Board continued to submit a proposal to the People's Committee of Gò Dầu District to approve the policy of assigning a unit to manage and yield the projects. And currently, the project is still temporarily under supervision of the Project Management Board. However, with the direction of the consolidation and streamlining the apparatus according to the central direction, the determination of the unit to take over and put the funeral home into operation is still pending review. And up to now, it is not clear which agency is officially responsible for managing these projects. However, even when it is put into use, it is necessary to widen the alley leading to the projects because with such a small alley width, the funeral organization will encounter many difficulties. For the past 2 years, the funeral home has been completed and the roads has not been built either. And the people hope that the authorities will have the contract solution so that the funeral home can soon be put into use, serving the community and contributing to building a civilized and urban lifestyle.
That's all for today, TTV News. Thank you for being with us and goodbye for now.